What's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? This your boy Mark Mo, man. Welcome to Mark Mo TV. Let's get into it. Why do white boys in Alabama prison system become victims? Why do white boys in the Alabama prison system get extorted? Why do white boys in the Alabama prison system become prey? I'm gonna tell y'all why. A lot of them have habits. A lot of them have drug habits, alcohol habits. Um, I wouldn't even consider eating being a habit, but we all must eat in order to survive, in order to live. You know what I mean? And let's just be frank about it. The Alabama prison system feeds you. If if you could put the Alabama prison system menu up against some of the world's worst food, it probably still wouldn't be no comparison. You feel me? They feed you bad. They don't feed you enough. It's it's garbage. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you don't have no money coming in, if you don't have someone in there that you can get something from, if you're not hustling, if you're not running a store, if you're not scoring the pack, you know what I mean? When I say scoring the pack, then man, you're gonna have it hard in there trying to survive off of what they feed you on the daily menu. It ain't gonna work. Trust me, I know. And from my understanding, it has gotten worse since I've been out of prison. So I couldn't even imagine, like, no. But the main reason why a lot of white guys do become victims and get turned out and get extorted and whatever you want to call it, it's all in the same, if you ask me. Um, a lot of them don't have no one on the streets to send them anything. So basic necessities like soap, toothpaste, snacks, sodas, chips, cookies, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Things that they, you basically, just a average human being needs or either wants in order to make it from day to day. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of them have drug habits. A lot of them they want to get drunk, and without money, without prison money. Let me break it down to you. When in prison, we're not talking about green money. We're not talking about cash. You feel me? We're not talking about this. We're not talking about green money. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about green money. We're talking about cookies, soups, chips, cigarettes, bags of coffee. That's your money in prison. You feel me? Now there are ways that you can, get things done with cash money, but I'll do a video about that another time. You know what I mean? That's you got to have somebody in the world, and you got to have access to a cell phone to where you can converse with someone in the world, and like that with the Cash App or the PayPal or the Venmo or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's another story. Right now, we're talking about the cookies, the soups, the coffee, the cigarettes, um, stuff like that. Most white guys that come to prison, they don't have anything. They're broke. No one's looking out for them. No one's showing them no love. Nobody's doing anything for them. And when they come into prison, it's going to always be guys in there of all races that may want to get at them for whatever reason they want to get at them. Everybody has a different agenda. Everybody. Trust me when I say that. Everybody, the people in prison are not trying to become your friend just because you look cool. Well, yeah, he looks like a person I want to be his friend, or I want to be cool with him because he just look like he's cool to be cool with. Nah, everybody has an ulterior motive behind want to be your friend, behind want to be nice to you, want to be helpful to you, offering this, offering that is something behind it. My advice for those of y'all who are on your way to prison, don't accept nothing from nobody. I don't want it. I don't need it. I'll do it out. I'll figure it out. I don't, because if you accept something from somebody, 9 times out of 10, it's something they want in return, or it's something that is gonna have to be paid in return for whatever they done for you. For some reason, y'all, I don't understand it, man. But for people to act like or assume that white people are very smart, I from what I've seen in prison, white guys are not that smart. And no disrespect to the white race, I swear it's not. But from what I've seen in prison, they are not very smart because I've seen white guys come in and be told, hey, don't fool with him, don't fool with him, don't fool with them, don't do this, don't hang, don't accept from this person. And they still do it. They still do it. I'm like, it makes me wonder, like, well, if no, not someone, someone's several people are telling you don't accept from this person, don't do this, don't get involved in this, don't do that, and you still do it. Make that make sense to me, y'all. What in the world would listen? That's just like someone say, hey, Mark, you know, don't go over here and bother that because it's a snake in it or a snake up on it or it's a bomb or it's something that might be detrimental to my health or my life or my safety. In prison, your manhood. So you think I'm gonna go over there and touch it and knowing it might be a chance or a risk that whatever is comes out of there might be bad for me or my life, especially my manhood. Okay, screw it. I'm gonna just go over here and mess with it anyway because I'm just such a daredevil. Nah, nah, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't see that. Ain't no way nobody could warn me about a certain person or certain persons or certain things in prison, and I'm gonna still go and just jump head first in it like I'm doing and diving in the swimming pool. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's why I say either white guys or either they some daredevils or they don't comprehend well or they just don't care. Or maybe, and I've seen this in prison, some of them, that exactly what they've been warned about is exactly what they were looking for. They just didn't want to say it. Oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for right there. They had them thoughts when they was in the county jail on their way to prison. They knew they was going. So, hey, I'm going in there and I'm gonna get in where I fit in. That's exactly what they were looking for. What everybody warned them not to be involved with or people not to be involved with. It's no other way around it. There is no other way around it because I don't care what nobody says. There's no way that people don't know about prison before they get there. Even if they haven't been there or not on their way to prison, they still have heard about penitentiary. They know what goes on there. They know everybody has heard. I mean, I heard that before I went to prison. Hey man, if you go to prison and you go to the bathroom or so and you come back and some cookies and some sodas and cook honey buns stuff on your bed, don't mess with it. Don't eat it. Man, everybody done heard that. I heard everybody heard that, whether you've been in prison or not, whether you on your way to prison or not. Everybody done heard that. What do white guys do in prison? Man, they'll come right in and see some coffee, a pack of bugler cigarettes. You know the kind you roll up on your own. Not we ain't talking about. We're not talking about the pearl handlers. We're not talking about the cigarettes with the butt with the filter on the end of them already. We talking about buglers and tops, kites, the kind you have to put the tobacco in the paper and roll it up, and you know what I mean. A cup pack of cookies, maybe a honey bun or a soup and a cheese curl on their bed. What do? 9 times out of 10, most I've always seen, they gonna go right and open it and ain't gonna ask no questions about it. Now, Do I promote it happening to them? No, I don't. But if you ain't got enough common enough sense to know not to go into prison and not borrow and not accept gifts and presents and items and other stuff from other people that you don't even know, y'all not even from the same county now. But where you from? Oh, I'm from Remlap, Alabama, and that's a real place in Alabama, y'all. Remlap. The guy who's offering you something is from Birmingham or Montgomery or Mobile or wherever. Selma. Wait, y'all not even from, but and I've heard it so many times. Oh, this is my homeboy. Where you from? Oh, I'm from Gaston. You asked the white dude, where you? Oh, I'm from Remlap. How the hell that's your homeboy? Y'all know each other on the street? No, we didn't. So how is that your homeboy? Well, he's been looking out for me since I've been here. I came here, I didn't have nothing, and he been helping me out, looking out for me. So you mean tell me you that you green as a bell pepper, boy? If you think that this man who don't know you is just giving you just because he's a good Samaritan. Oh, he's a Christian. He's an angel of mercy. But he's sitting here in prison with you. But he's such a good-hearted person, and he see you came in and you didn't have nothing, and he's just giving you, and you falling for that. Y'all, let me explain something to you. Nobody is that naive. Either this person has been looking for a sugar daddy, a war daddy, a man, a protector, a enforcer, whatever you want to call it or classify it as. Evidently, this dude came to penitentiary with the idea of that's what he was looking for. It's not a surprise. It's not a game. Nobody has to pull up on him, man, even if somebody does pull up on you in prison in Alabama, we talking about Alabama prison, but I'm sure it's like that everywhere. But we talking about Alabama. If a guy does pull up on you with that being too nice and too caring and too considerate about you mean to tell me a red flag doesn't go off in your head like, hold up, wait a minute, I don't know this man. This man don't know me. Why does he want to be so nice to me? That's what I don't understand about a lot of y'all. Well, a lot of people talk about the poor innocent victims in prison. How can you become a victim if you don't put yourself in that position? How can you become a victim? How? I don't get that. I don't understand it. Man, listen, your best bet when you go to prison, don't accept nothing from nobody. I don't even want to have a conversation with somebody that I don't know in prison too much. My suggestion when you first go to prison in the state of Alabama, especially if you white, man, limit your conversation. Man, you ain't got no cigarettes, but maybe you should quit smoking. You ain't got no coffee. Hey, from my understanding now, back in the days, I don't know about now, on Sundays, they used to give you coffee at breakfast in prison. I don't know if it's still like that. Wait till Sunday and have you a cup of coffee or two. You feel me? Uh, if you ain't got no money coming in or something, when you go to prison, Alabama, it's always dudes need their clothes and stuff washed or ironed or something. You know what I mean? Or you can even take cigarettes and roll them up for somebody and make a little cigarette bar. I think it used to be like 4 cigarettes in there for a pack of cookies or an item. I'd say either soup, cookie, chip, whatever. But one item. That used to be. I don't know if it's still like that. It may not be. But it is so many other ways of surviving in prison than to accept gifts from a person that you don't know. Because 9 times out of 10, that person offering you something is not out the kindness of their heart. They want something in return. And more than likely, you know what they want. If you don't know, you know what it's getting around to eventually. It may not start off that way, but eventually that's what it's going to end up being. You know what I mean? So if you white and you go to prison, and let me say this before I say that. Just because you may be white doesn't mean you can trust other white guys in prison either. I know this for a fact. You have other white dudes in prison that are bandits that will ease up on you and get you in debt with them, and then they will go and sell you to somebody, another white dude, or you sell you to a black dude. So best bet, don't trust nobody. Nobody. Even if you knew guys from the street, if you do run across a guy that's from your hometown, oh man, yeah, we went to middle school together. We went to junior high school together. And all. Yeah, 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 he was cool. That was on the streets, idiot. When a man come to prison, especially if he's been there for a while, oh man, I remember, man, Ben was cool back in the day. Man, he been locked up about 10, 15 years, man. Yeah, man, we was silent on the street. That's on the street. In prison, he's a whole different person. Totally different person. So you can't even trust him. You don't know what he's got off into or what he's involved in inside this penitentiary. It's different. This is not the real world. The same things that apply out there don't apply in here. Different rules, different playing field, different game. You feel me? So it's safe to say you can't trust nobody when you go to prison. You got to feel people out. You got to see what they're about, who they're running with, what their daily activities are. What they involved in before you just go to prison and think and tomorrow, yeah, that's my friend from the street, or me and him was cool in the county jail, or I used to date his niece or his little cousin back in the days. Man, don't none of that make no difference in prison. Prison is a jungle. The strong prey off of the weak. What you gonna be? You gonna be a wolf or you gonna be a sheep? Because it ain't too much in between. I don't want to hear that stuff talking about, oh, we can go to prison, you just stay out the way and they're not going to bother you. And, you just read your Bible and stay to yourself and, stay on your bed and just don't talk to people. And no, 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 no. Let me explain something, y'all. That ain't going to work neither. That's going to put a bullseye right on the top of your head. That's going to make you more noticeable than probably anything else in there. He too quiet. He don't talk to nobody. He ain't got no friends. He ain't got no homeboys. Don't do that. That's definitely a no-no. Definitely. You putting a bullseye right on your head and right on your back. Victim. See, that's what people gonna see. Victim. Boy. Yeah. Victim, boy, or whatever. That's exactly what that's gonna paint right on the top of your head. Yeah, I'm a prime example of a victim. I mean, I'm the victim is just shining all over me, and the wolves can see it. The predators can see it. The extortionists can see it. The bullies can see it. The vampires, whatever you want to call it, they can all sense the fear. They can see the greenness. They can see the fear, the scaredness, the timidness. They can see it. They can sense it. And when it's that noticeable, they coming. They might not come right off. Or they might not come just in the way you may think that they may come. They might pull away, you're gonna be mine and you're gonna be my bitch, and you're gonna be my boy, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. No, it may not come that way. It may come in the face of a friend. It may come in the face of a person that's really trying to help you. It may come in disguise as someone really, really wanting to be your friend. And guess what? Ain't no friends in prison, especially if you don't know them. If you don't already know them, y'all don't have no type of history, or and especially somebody from a whole nother city. From you, boy, I'm from Birmingham, and you from Montgomery, or I'm from Mobile, you from Decatur, or you from Huntsville, and he's from Selma. Whatever, man. I don't know you from no street. You're not my homeboy. I don't know you. How you figure we homeboys? I don't know nothing about you. And all of a sudden you come into me offering me food and cookies and cakes and coffee and help and aid and assistance and I got your back and all that. BS. BS. Are white guys the only ones as victims in the Alabama prison system? No, they're not. Are they the number one victims in prison in Alabama? Yes, they are. But they're not the only ones. But when I say they lead the pack and becoming victims, yes, they lead the pack. Why? For one, they're the minority. For two, a lot of them be scary. A lot of them be scary, and I get it because I had to put myself in that position one time, and I thought about what if all the Alabama prison system was the majority white guys, and the few blacks that go in there. I had to think about like, damn, how would it be? Would it be the same? Would it be worse? I feel like it would be the same. Maybe a little worse. I can't say. I don't know. But being a minority is not fun. I've been in that situation a lot in prison dealing with the gang stuff because little bit knows to now compared to back then being a blood. I don't bang no more. Let me go ahead and clear that. I don't bang. I don't claim. I'm not. It's senseless. It makes no sense. That got old. I got older. People got older. We got different things in lives going on. You know what I mean? Like the world. I don't see no point in it. But for those who do, hey, get your bang on. Me, I don't see the point in it. You feel me? But back then, in the 90s in prison, Bloods was the minority. In every prison you went to, except for one, which I do talk about that another time, and that was Fountain Prison in Atmore, Alabama in the 90s. But that's a whole nother situation, whole nother story. So I know what it's like. I understand how them white boys felt going into prison, like, damn, all these black people, I don't know nobody. I ain't in no gang. I ain't, you know what I mean? Like so I get it. But that still does not mean you shouldn't stand on 10 and be a man. I'm still, I just, nobody will ever make me understand because I went into prison and it was more of another race, or I was scared, or so I didn't know what to do, that I'm just gonna give my manhood up. I'm gonna go and choose up and get me a boyfriend and get me a man, a war daddy. Ain't no way. Nobody can convince me. I don't care how scared you were. Man, you better stand on all 10 and do whatever you got to do to keep your manhood. I feel like once you get your manhood up, I mean, like, bro, that is over with. How can you go back to the street and say, yeah, this my old lady, and and good and well, you done gave your manhood up. Ain't no way, y'all. But hey, anyway, white guys, if you ain't about that life, if you ain't built like that, do the right thing. Stay out of trouble, stay out of jail. Because when you go to prison, your race will not save you. You being white will not protect you. You being white will not get you any special privileges in the Alabama Department of Corrections, man. You feel me? So to avoid that, do the right thing and just stay free. Just stay free. Hey man, this your boy Mark Mo, man. Mark Mo TV. Shout out to the Dante Show Network, man. With that being said, man, peace and blessings, man. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.